Every time they're rude to us and we respond with grace, we're actually giving an apologetic for Jesus' character that people need to see.
The marketplace in the old days, the agora, was where people did their shopping and connected with other people. Now the marketplace is Starbucks, your university. It's a whole host of different ways that ambassadors can penetrate in the culture and get the message of Christ out to them.
When we were in the Philippines doing missions, there was an ambassador from the United States who would go and patronize McDonald's, American businesses. There was something congruent there about what she was doing. There wasn't a disconnect, and we don't want a disconnect there when we're talking to people about Jesus, but then acting like a jerk or something like that.
Yeah.
On the show, Amy, how do you model this kind of ambassadorship?
When we think about our character, it's actually an apologetic. Because what we're doing is we are representing Christ to people. So in 1 Peter, when it says we were called so that we could proclaim the excellencies of him who called us, that passage is actually sandwiched among a lot of behavioral commands and saying, prove yourself to be someone with good behavior so that they'll glorify God. So it's actually the case that our character is representing Christ to other people. I think that's the biggest thing we have to keep in mind, that whatever we do, we can show the gospel to them by responding to them in ways that they don't deserve, because that's how God responded to us. So every time they're rude to us and we respond with grace, we're actually giving an apologetic for Jesus' character that people need to see. And as it happens, even the big verse that apologists use, to give a defense with gentleness and respect, it actually begins with saying, sanctify Christ as Lord in your hearts. And that's your obedience to Christ. That's your character that begins this whole process. So when we respond to them, character is a huge part.
Yeah.
We want to represent Christ. We want to be truthful. We want to be humble. We want to show all the things that make Christ great so they can see who he is.